What if I told you there was a time when MrBeast almost died? But he's not the only one, because YouTubers have nearly died from plane crashes, kidnappings, and even skydives gone wrong. Starting with the time a YouTuber shut down an entire city, and it nearly cost him his life. See, in 2023, Kai wasn't just making waves in the streaming world, he was making history. And to celebrate, he wanted to give back to the community. So he took to Twitter and dropped a bombshell, telling fans to pull up to Union Square in New York City for his biggest giveaway yet. I'm talking PS5s, PCs, gift cards. Kai was about to go MrBeast on everyone. But little did he know, he was about to make the biggest mistake of his life. Because without any permits or planning whatsoever, thousands of people stormed the streets and caused chaos.
Thousands flooded Union Square, and when Cenat showed up, chaos ensued.
NYPD confirms the crowd was largely made of thousands of underage teenagers. Witnesses say these teens gathered in this area quickly went from riled up to violent.
Jesus Christ! This man really started a riot! And the craziest part is, Kai was right in the middle of it all. I mean, things got so bad that businesses were forced to shut down. The subway was halted, and the NYPD had to respond with over 1,000 officers. So, by the end of the day, over 65 fans were arrested, including Kai. And the city suffered over $200,000 in property damages.
A social media influencer is facing charges now after his video game giveaway turned into absolute mayhem.
Kai Cenat will be charged with multiple counts, including at least 2 counts of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
Man, Kai's just lucky he made it out alive. But no one's luckier than IShowSpeed, because he's been dodging death on the daily. See, Speed's someone that spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on security, so you'd think he'd be safe, right? Well, Speed had other plans. Jesus! Speed got knocked the f*** out! And for someone that athletic, you'd think he'd be able to stay out of trouble. But it's only made things worse. Like the time he set foot in the WWE and got wrecked! Oh my God! Or when he took part in one of the most dangerous sports in the world, where, the main objective is to basically launch yourself down a hill and pray you catch the rolling wheel of cheese in one piece. Yeah. At this point, bro's begging to die. But that's just when Speed's on foot. Put him behind the wheel, and you get moments like this.
Oh, wait, how do I stop? Oh,
And it only gets worse from here. Because if Speed doesn't take himself out, Mother Nature sure as hell will. I mean, he's had his run-ins with pit bulls, elephants, tigers, and even goddamn hippos. But none of that compares to the dumbest thing Speed's ever done. Because during the 4th of July stream, he actually thought it would be a good idea to set off fireworks inside his bedroom. I wish I was kidding. Man, that was just dumb. But our next YouTuber was down bad. Because what happened to Trevor Jacob not only cost him his career, it nearly cost him his life. See, Trevor isn't just any ordinary YouTuber. He's an Olympian, licensed pilot, and a full-blown adrenaline junkie who's pulled off all kinds of crazy stunts, from skating off rooftops to skydiving from rope swings. The man's nuts! But in 2015, there was a meaning behind the madness. Because after losing his best friend in a base jump accident, Trevor wanted to honor him the only way he knew how. So he set out on a tribute flight to Mammoth Mountain in California, where he planned to spread his ashes from the sky. But that's when things went horribly wrong. Because all of a sudden, the plane's engine failed, leaving him with only one option.
I'm just so happy to be alive. I'm just kind of taking in what just happened. Well, where the hell am I gonna land a freaking plane? I'm gonna die. That's why I always freaking fly with a parachute.
Now, thankfully, Trevor was able to pull off an emergency landing, and for a while, it seemed like one big freak accident. That was until an investigation was launched, and immediately, things didn't add up. Like Trevor claimed he couldn't remember where the crash happened, despite going back twice to recover his cameras. And the more investigators reviewed the footage, the less it made sense. Because not only did he open the cabin door before the engine failed, but he never called for help, never tried to restart the engine, and made zero effort to land safely. But the biggest red flag came when they discovered the wreckage had been cleared, leaving them with only one reasonable conclusion.
When I jumped out of the plane, I jumped and I'm like, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. I did pretend that, you know, the engine died and kind of made the saga of the video.
You were acting a bit?
Yeah. When I jumped out of that plane, I had no idea I committed any type of crime whatsoever. It turned out that I actually committed 5 felonies.
Bro really faked a plane crash for clout? And it blew up in his face! Because not only did he plead guilty to obstructing a federal investigation, he also lost his pilot license and was sentenced to 6 months in prison. Damn. I see why he tried to hide this story. But Jack Doherty's story is one that everyone should know. Because what if I told you that he literally predicted his near-death experience while live streaming? Yeah. See, at just 19 years old, Jack copped his dream car, a brand new $200,000 McLaren 570S. And this thing is no joke. It's got 562 horsepower, hits 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, and tops out at 204 miles per hour. So of course, Jack had to go and drop even more money pimping his ride. This was the car of his dreams. But just a year later, that dream would turn into a nightmare. Because on a rainy day in Miami, Jack was out driving his McLaren while live streaming when this happened.
I'm most likely going to crash this car. Literally, guys, you can't see shit. I'm most likely going to crash this car. No, I'm kidding. Hopefully not. This is bad. Oh! No! No!
Holy crap! Jack got hit bad. And even though he walked away without a scratch, his 200 grand McLaren wasn't as lucky. Damn, this guy's life really flashed in the blink of an eye. But the same can't be said for this next YouTuber, because Nikocado Avocado spent years nearly eating himself to death. See, when Nick first joined YouTube, he weighed just 155 pounds, living off nothing but vegan meals and vegetables. But in 2016, everything changed. The plant-based meals disappeared, the food got bigger, greasier, and the guy who once preached health was scarfing down cheeseburgers. Fast forward a couple years, and he found the secret ingredient to YouTube fame: mukbangs. Yeah, suddenly he was feasting on mountains of fast food, paying regular visits to the Heart Attack Grill, and binging 10,000 calories of video, to the point where Bo was literally breaking the scales. I broke her! I mean, this man was so large, he needed a scooter just to get around, and couldn't even fit in cars. Until eventually, Nick's health got so bad, his body started to break down. But instead of stopping, Nick doubled down. I'm talking mukbangs from bed. Yeah, it had gotten that bad. Because at this point, Nick wasn't just gaining weight. He was tipping the scales at over 410 pounds and spiraling towards an early grave. And in 2024, that's exactly what fans thought happened. Because Nick disappeared from the internet, leaving fans wondering if all that food had finally caught up with him. But just a few months later, he was back and broke the internet.
Today I woke up from a very long dream. And I also woke up having lost 250 pounds off of my body.
Yeah, Nick made a complete transformation, losing 250 pounds and going from fat to fit. But Jeff Wittek had a lot more to lose than just fat, because what happened to him didn't just nearly end his life. It destroyed a friendship and triggered a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Back in the summer of 2020, the Vlog Squad was out at Bear Lake in Utah, filming content for a special occasion, David's YouTube comeback. Yeah, David wanted to go big, so he rented out an excavator, ready to swing his friends through the air. And at first, this looked just like another vlog. But when it was Jeff's turn to step up, his life would never be the same again. Jeff was hurt bad, so he was immediately rushed to the hospital, where doctors quickly realized the full extent of his injuries. Because not only did he shatter his skull in 9 places, but he also broke his foot and hip, tore ligaments in his leg, and even partially lost vision in one eye. I mean, the dude was within inches of dying, all for a damn YouTube video. So when the shock finally wore off, the anger kicked in.
I remember Jeff came up to one of my buddies. He was like, "This is f***ing boring as shit. What are we, like, preschoolers? Like, let's do something cool." He said he wanted to swing from it.
He said that I wanted to swing around it. And
wasn't Corinna on it first?
He says it very vaguely. I saw Corinna swing on it a little bit like that, and then I was like, oh yeah, this looks fun. Just swinging, like a rope swing attached to a tree. Not whipping the fucking thing around 60 miles per hour. I hopped on the rope to fucking do the first part. You just swing back and forth. It's a swing.
When the
Not while the fucking thing is swinging fast. That was never discussed. That was completely on you. I'm there, head smashed open like a fucking watermelon, fucking exploded on a hospital bed. But my one last wish was, David, please don't tell anyone that this was my idea. Are you fucking out of your mind? Are you that fucking sick in the head? You sick sociopath.
And a couple years later, after countless surgeries, Jeff finally decided to hold David accountable, suing his ass for negligence, intentional harm, and reckless behavior, seeking $10 million in damages. Damn, no one saw that coming. But what they really didn't expect was what happened to TGF, because what started as just another video ended up being the scariest day of their lives. You see, every year leading up to 2020, Jay and Romel dropped their iconic Extreme Christmas Calendar series, a daily countdown to Christmas, where every video was more extreme than the last.
Oh my fucking days! Welcome back to Christmas Calendar. Oh my.
But in 2017, there was one video that took stupid to a whole new level. Because for some reason, they decided to stick Jay's head into a goddamn microwave and load it with cement. Yeah. Now, to their defense, they did take a couple precautions. I mean, they did include a breathing tube and cover his head with a plastic bag. So hey, what could possibly go wrong?
His head's not coming out!
So at this point, I took my last breath that I physically could, that being because the front of my face was covered with like bricks and like solid plaster. You know when they say like your life flashes before your eyes? I thought it was over. Like I legit thought it was over. And I said to him out, you can hear in the video, so when I say to you, I was like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, the microwave basically became a brick, leaving them with no other choice but to call 911 to rescue him. Now, you'd think that would be the end of the story, but people were pissed, calling for Jay's head on social media. So a day later, he took to YouTube to explain his side of the story. But the damage was already done, and people have been hating on him ever since. But I mean, the man got what he asked for, I guess. Now Logan Paul, on the other hand, his life was at risk for something completely out of his control. Because back on February 1st, 2018, he was attempting his first solo dive, and it nearly became his last.
Your main parachute takes 3 to 6 seconds to open. I go to pull the ripcord. Pretty much right as I pull it, it gets stuck in this like little square shape. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna. Because you're still going up. Right, so I'm like, I'm gonna give this a second. Like it could still open up. It's happened before where it takes like a second longer to open up. But I'm also spinning. And about 4 seconds in, I realize the parachute is still not f***ing opening. Yeah. So eventually I'm like, I am gonna die. I'm gonna die. I look red, I grab red, I peel pull, just like they taught us. And my main parachute detaches. And I'm like, I hope my reserve works, literally.
Peel pull is like you are in your mind next to death.
Next to death.
Holy crap! Logan almost ended up a human pancake, but at least it was over in a couple of seconds. Because some YouTubers are so reckless, it's like they wanted to get killed. Bro. This is YourFellowArab, a streamer and former Fortnite YouTuber based in Atlanta, Georgia. But what he's really known for is diving headfirst into danger. And as wild as that is, nothing could have prepared him for what went down in March of 2024, when he flew to Haiti to meet with the infamous gang leader, Jimmy Cherizier, aka Barbecue. But this isn't just any ordinary kingpin. He's the leader of the G9 family, the most powerful and deadly gang in the entire country. Like, this guy literally sets people on fire. Okay, he's a dangerous man. But even after knowing all that, Arab still flew halfway across the world to interview him, thinking everything would go smoothly. Big mistake.
We get to the bottom of the mountain and these 8 dudes with AKs pull up to us in the car.
No way.
Yeah, 8 dudes, they run
run at the car. But then the second chief of Le Mensonges goes, nah, we're gonna keep him.
Yeah, Arab was kidnapped. But this wasn't barbecue behind it all. It was someone even worse. Haiti's most ruthless gang, the 400 Mawozo. Notorious for mass kidnappings, extortion, and even murder. I mean, their leader, Le Mensonges, is literally on the FBI's most wanted list. So against his will, Arab was held captive in a heavily guarded compound, surrounded by barbed wire, AK-47s, and armed gang soldiers. And during his time there, they made him appear in videos, and even let him call his family, but only under one condition.
What are you asking for?
$5,100.
5,000?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't have $5,000.
No, it's $500,000. $600,000.
Yeah, so back home in the US, Arab's brother was doing everything he could to get him out, pulling strings, scraping together every dollar he could. Hell, he even went as far as reaching out to a team of mercenaries to try and coordinate a safe return. But there were no easy answers. So over the next couple weeks, they negotiated back and forth, trying to lower the ransom, find a safe way to transfer the money, and figure out how Arab would even be released alive.
We're worried for your brother. Your brother is okay.
Okay.
Right now, we just like negotiate. Don't be worried about your brother. Your brother, everything is okay. Everything is fine. We don't hurt him. We don't beat him, and we don't shoot him. He's okay. You need your brother. If you want him quickly, you have to send the money quick.
Until finally, after 17 days in captivity, Arab was released. And not because the gang had a change of heart or anything, but because they accepted a partial ransom of about 40 grand. Damn. Hopefully he'll think twice before trying to interview a fugitive again. But MrBeast didn't even have time to think, because he put himself in the hospital just to save his friend's life. Back in 2020, Jimmy had just wrapped up filming a video and was heading home to North Carolina, when out of nowhere, things turned deadly.
So, good night's sleep. We start our drive home. It's a 8-hour drive with me and like 2 of my other friends. And then my friend driving, he just says, can we pull over to a gas station? I don't feel too good. And I'm like looking at the road and I turn and look to my left and his head's just bobbling down the highway and he's just like dead. So I instantly am like, this f***er fell asleep. So I grab the wheel, I'm sitting in the passenger seat. I'm just kind of like keeping the car going straight and he's not waking up. And like his foot though is still on the gas. So we're like slowly going a little faster now. We're going like 80 or 85. Yeah. And I have my hand on the steering wheel. I'm in the passenger seat. I mean, we're moving quick.
Okay.
He's like literally dead. You know, in my head, I'm like, I gotta take his foot off the gas. I gotta slow this car down. So I just like, F it. And I just put my head below the wheel. I grabbed his foot and just threw it off the gas and slowly like pulled off. And I could hear the strip on the right tire.
You were driving the car based on
the strip, the
on
sound.
Hearing the
because I couldn't really see. And then I heard it on the left wheels and I was like, okay, we're off the fucking highway. I looked up to make sure and I just slammed on the brakes and we're off. We didn't hit a car. We're just on the side of the highway.
Yeah. And if the story ended there, Jimmy would have been in the clear. But what happened next flipped the script completely.
And so I think everything's over. He comes back to life. His heart starts beating again, and he just stomps on the gas.
So he floored it.
Yeah, and so I, like literally, we're on the side of the highway. I instantly bent back over to touch the brake, but I was like, we could go right on the road and just get hit 70 miles an hour. So I just yoinked the wheel to the right, so we just slammed into a concrete wall, and that just stopped the car. Yeah, and then my head's like bleeding and I have marks everywhere.
Jesus Christ! And all that in just a couple of seconds. Now that's crazy. But not as crazy as his world record. Because MrBeast pulled off something so ridiculous, it's never been done before. And he's not the only one. Yeah, from a YouTuber that's been arrested so many times, it set a record. To another who lost millions of dollars in a single day. We have it all. So if you want to see more, then you need to click on this video right here.